This is the celiac artery. It's going to branch 3 times. And here it looks like it branches just like an X, but technically it's supposed to branch first to the gastrohepatic, which would technically be like right here, and then further branch into the gastric, which goes into the stomach, and hepatic, which goes to the liver. And this next branch right here is the pancreomesenteric artery. It's going to go underneath here and branch right here to the pyloric artery on the pylorus of the stomach, and underneath the pancreas it's going to go into the intestine, to the intra-intestinal, right there. And then on this side, it will branch to the duodenal, onto the duodenum of the small intestine. So, again, that was the pancreomesenteric, branches to the pylorus, duodenal, intra-intestinal, underneath the pancreas. Then it continues on here and turns into the anterior intestinal artery along the top of the thing. And then these lines coming off are annular arteries. You go down here, this is the posterior intestinal artery. It's going to branch off and
that's what it is, yeah.
so it's here, it's branching off and it's going to the dorsal aorta, and this is called the same thing. This is the posterior intestinal artery. The thing right here that goes from the dorsal aorta to the spleen is called the gastrosplenic artery. And right down here, from the dorsal aorta to the rectal gland, is the posterior mesenteric artery. Okay, so now on to veins. This is the hepatic portal vein. It goes from, it's not very well injected, but it goes from the liver. It's gonna, oh, and this is the common bile duct, this it's clear thing. This is still the hepatic portal, it's just not very well injected. It's going to branch 3 times. The first one is the vein, as for the artery. This is the pancreomesenteric vein. This one right here, this is the lobe of the pancreas, but underneath it is the lienomesenteric vein, which will run right along the dorsal of the pancreas. And this is the part here, but this is the gastric vein that runs next to the gastric artery. So continuing with the pancreomesenteric, it does a similar thing down here that it did with the artery. You have the pyloric vein that's right next to the pyloric artery. The intra-intestinal vein is right there next to where the artery is. And then this continues on. Again, this was the pancreomesenteric, goes underneath the pancreas and changes into the posterior intestinal vein. They're also called annulars here, whether it's a vein or an artery.
Anterior.
Is that what it says? I'm sorry. Anterior intestinal. I hope I said that. So down here it's the posterior intestinal, and it's going to join, or it's going to connect with the spleen, and it's called the posterior splenic vein. And it's going to actually connect back up to the lienomesenteric, which is down here on the bottom of the pancreas. And I think that's it. Oh, there's the dorsal aorta, and then on either side there's the posterior cardinal veins. It's supposed to be hepatic portal, but you can't really see it very well. And then renal efferent. Oh yeah, what are they called? Hepatic portal. Sorry, renal portal, and then efferent and afferent, which you're not going to be able to see here, I don't think.
Yeah, efferent go out and efferent.
Yeah, Frank said don't worry about it.
This way.
Okay.